As a kid, I wanted to be a vet and I wanted to be a firefighter, and I eventually went to study engineering, and in the weekend I had a weekend job, as you do when you study in Holland. Basically, I became a big fan of cooking and abandoned my studies and fully throw myself on a cooking career. I work in a team of 58 chefs and the same amount of service staff. So it would be bold to say it's one man deciding for everything happening in the team. So I am here to give direction, but I'm also here to listen to new ideas and see if those ideas fit our vision. I am basically the safe guardian of the guiding principle of the restaurant, the style of the restaurant. But it is a very democratic process where everybody has an involvement and a voice in evolving our menus, the way we serve, the way we basically create a dining experience. There's no compromise in this industry. You either, particularly if you want to be successful, it is unconditionally, and you have to make sure that you found a family around you that have an acceptance towards that and can understand, the industry as well as you do. But I don't find it difficult. It's not a job. It's something I'm extremely passionate about constantly. It's one of the most challenging, but in a positive sense, jobs in the world, because even today I'm almost 50 and I feel that I'm still learning. So I think there's not a lot of professions where you can have that same constant evolution. And also you work with a lot of young people, so they will challenge you. I think it's a very challenging trade. And it gets a lot of very, very positive attention over the past year, Some people say chefs are rock stars. I do not tend to agree with it, but it definitely brings the right focus to the industry, and that is exciting. The food is a very personal reflection of contemporary French food. It's very ingredient driven. We find ourselves on a very interesting crossroad here in Asia, where we have Europe on one side, Japan on the other, and Australia and New Zealand at the bottom. So we're able to source from 2 different seasons at any given time, and also products from very different soil. Last week we were in New York to be present with the announcement of the World's 50 Best Restaurants, a list in which we have been featuring for the last 7 years. We are the only restaurant in Hong Kong to be on the list, and we are the second highest restaurant in Asia. Considering the amount of restaurants you have in the world, we were extremely flattered and excited to be so high up. There's definitely much more competition in Hong Kong as when we started 11 years ago. The restaurant is 11 years old. 11 years ago, the hotel scene was actually, the hotel restaurant scene was very traditional, very classical French, heavy French food, very overbearing service. And when we started actually 11 years ago, we wanted to break all these boundaries and sort of set our own sort of identity. It wasn't immediately accepted because we were breaking the paradigm. So we had to convince over the years people that we wanted to be definitely a different restaurant. Today, I think with all the success, we have been accepted. I even have sometimes guests saying, I'm glad that you're here now because the first chef that opened the restaurant, he didn't get it. But I think that the city has evolved. I don't think that I only have evolved. I think the city has evolved with us. Things have definitely changed over the years. I think, today there's so much information available, way more information than when I was a young chef. So I think that young chefs come with very clear expectations. And when you cannot deliver towards their expectations, they will move on to something else. So to retain young people within your team means that you constantly contribute something to their skill or know-how. And the fact that we have people working with me for 9 years is maybe a testimony that we are really putting an effort in developing people in the right manner.